You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6.
Some Maryland residents are going home to find out what is left after damaging floods tore through. A look at the recovery and the cleanup.
And today, a call for justice after a shooting that involved an officer tasing a Newtown man. Our Marla Spence will join us live from City Hall.
And new research says the number of Puerto Ricans killed by Hurricane Maria were much worse than reported. We'll have the startling new numbers right now on Good Morning Suncoast. A quick hint, we've gone from dozens to thousands of fatalities. Welcome back, 6 o'clock right now. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for waking up with us this morning or continuing to watch, as may be the story. John Scalzi tracking some rain today.
Yes, it's going to be a wet morning, a wet commute. We're looking at a good chance of rainfall throughout the next couple of hours for certain, and perhaps throughout the entire morning as well. A plume of moisture lifting northward. We talked about this yesterday, how that moisture would be increasing across the region and our rain chances would be going up. Our atmosphere very unstable, and it's producing some fairly heavy rainfall around Arcadia now. Those rain showers will also increase in coverage around Longboat Key over the next half hour. And I think almost any time, almost anywhere, you're likely to see some rain showers this morning popping up here and there. Heavier rain also moving through Fort Myers on its way up toward Punta Gorda in about a half an hour. You can see those showers mostly east of the interstate at this point, but I think coverage most everywhere, even west of the interstate, will be increasing in the next hour or so. We'll have that complete forecast for you, including a drier, hotter weekend coming up in just a few. Back to you.
Nice to hear those words. Thank you, John. Here's a live look right now at a busy street. Look at the traffic there at Bee Ridge and Tuttle. Wet roads, as you see right now, so take caution if you do head out early this morning. We'll continue to track the commute and also track the weather. Let's get a shot now of the traffic maps as you awaken now on this Wednesday morning. There's a scene first off in Manatee County. A little build up there on 64 westbound as you drive away from the interstate, also downtown as you come in off 301. Checking farther south down the maps in the upper half of Sarasota County. Nothing to report so far there this morning. And then the lower half of Sarasota County, South County, will indicate 3, 2, 1. There we go. Some problems there down by El Jobin in Charlotte County. 6:02 now.
All right, well, it has been more than 8 months since Hurricane Maria swept through Puerto Rico, killing what was reported at first to be 64 people. Well, this morning we have new details of the actual numbers, and they are shocking. A new study shows the death toll was way off. Harvard researchers pin it at thousands more, saying the original death count is 70 times too low. That new release number, more than 4,000. This study says that many died from delayed medical care. So far, there's been no response from the White House. Well, in Maryland, Ellicott City is starting over once again. Cleanup efforts are underway after being pounded by major floods earlier this week. John Lawrence tells us the biggest concerns for residents and business owners as they go back to see what's left.
Ellicott City is starting over once again. Much of the rebuilding the area saw since a devastating flood in 2016 now washed away by another deluge.
For me, the biggest concern is when are we going to get in to be able to clean the water, because that's the biggest harm now, is it heating up with the water in there and becoming a petri dish and just mold and bacteria forming and things of that nature.
Business owners are assessing damage and planning their next moves.
I got the girls' things, tools, now we're getting the supplies and color so we can find another home to start back up again until we figure this out.
On Tuesday, authorities confirm this flood's first fatality.
We were able to locate the body of Sergeant Edison Armand.
The 39-year-old National Guardsman was swept away in the Patapsco River while trying to help rescue a woman and her cat. Maryland Governor Larry Hogan issued a statement praising Armand's service to the country and sending prayers to his family. There were 2 deaths in the 2016 floods, and while some business people and residents vowed to return, many are not committing to a comeback.
Not even 2 years later, and we're looking at the same hurdles, the same challenges, and just everyone in town, we're a bit tapped out at this point.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
And in an attempt to keep people safe there, authorities are now controlling the access to the flood area, and they're also now issuing more curfews.
A Broward County police officer has been suspended after wishing a car accident on one of the students who survived the Parkland school massacre. Officer Brian Valenti said in a now deleted Facebook post, that he hoped an old lady would lose control in the parking lot where survivor David Hogg and other activists held a die-in protest last Friday. Hogg organized the protest, which involved participants lying on the ground.
Police officers are supposed to be the people that protect and serve our community, not hate and perpetrate violence like he was kind of advocating for on there. That's just disgusting.
He's extremely remorseful about it. This is a man that has spent 23 years working for the city and with a very good work record here. His mistakes were inappropriate. They were not professional. He acknowledges that.
Officials say in order to keep the job now, he'll have to go through some sensitivity training.
Well, local activists who believe that Sarasota police mishandled a recent arrest plan to blitz City Hall later on tonight.
Marla Spence is live from City Hall at the preview. Marla?
Good morning, guys. Black Lives Matter Minnesota, the Rodney Mitchell Foundation, and Answer Suncoast Coalition will be here at City Hall. They say they plan to speak out against Sarasota's police department. They also say that they want justice in two cases that happened in Newtown, one involving a man who was tased by police officers in late March and the other in April at Janie's Garden Apartments. The first case in late March was when police officers arrested Chad Washington in Newtown. Police believe Washington was under the influence of the hallucinogenic drug spice, and they say he was punching and biting officers, even sending one to the hospital. But spectators that day claim officers started the violence and Washington was not resisting arrest. Now, the other incident locals will be speaking out against happened back in April at Janie's Gardens Apartments. Officers were patrolling that area when they spotted a suspicious car with 3 teens inside, and that's when one officer walks over to the driver's side of the car, and police say the driver, Jeremy Trebles, started to reverse his car, and that's when shots were fired into the car by Officer Brandon Vermillion. Trebles drove himself and the others in his car to the hospital that day and was treated for gunshot wounds. Now, both cases will be brought up to Sarasota's Police Complaint Committee at 5:30 this evening, and coming up at 6:30 this morning, what those 3 groups hope to see after they formally file their complaints. That's coming up at 6:30. Reporting live in Sarasota, Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Marla. The suspected Golden State killer stood silently in a courtroom cage yesterday. Former Officer Joseph D'Angelo is waiting for the judge's decision on how much information will be released about his arrest, including items in his home. Defense attorneys are arguing that any information released would make it impossible to hold a fair trial. Attorneys say a computer, a cell phone, and memorabilia from his alleged crimes were all seized. There he is in the cage right there. D'Angelo is linked to more than 12 murders and more than 50 rapes. He is expected to be back in court tomorrow, where the judge will announce his verdict.
Well, the start of summer means more kids at home, and for many families, more meals they have to make and more groceries to have to buy. In response to that, the Summer Break Spot program to help fight summer hunger is back on. State officials say more than 1 million students rely on free and reduced price meals during the school year. Now, this Break Spot program by the State Department of Agriculture tries to fill that gap during those long summer months.
Nutrition is one of the most important building blocks for academic success, so this program helps give kids the access to the resources they need to stay healthy and ready to learn and set them up for the next school year.
Now, last year, the Summer Break Spot program provided 15 million meals at more than 4,600 schools, churches, and community centers. There are more than 50 locations in the area that do offer that program. And ABC 7 is doing our part to help the hungry this summer. Go to mysuncoast.com/hunger for more information on our effort.
Still ahead, reaction to the sudden end of the new reboot of The Roseanne Show.
The tweet that ended it all yesterday, and what Roseanne Barr is saying today as to why she sent that tweet. We're going to have all the details when we come back.
But first, a peek outside at some wet roads in the Sarasota area. What's the forecast today, John Scalzi?
Pretty much what you're seeing on the lens of that camera. We've got some rain showers around. In fact, some fairly heavy rainfall in places right now. Moving into Arcadia, we've got some heavy rainfall. Also, Mayaca City seeing some showers, and leaving Parrish, moving into Hillsboro, there were some periods of heavy rain. A smattering of showers across the region leads to a pretty wet rainfall forecast. Perhaps accumulations in excess of a ½ inch to an inch of rainfall today. Beach forecast for the evening. 1 beach ball out of 4. We'll have the complete forecast in a minute.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
My credit score was not that great.
I didn't understand what went into my credit score. It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach.
Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think, I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free.
You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert Weather app now. Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Wet, 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 wet. All morning long, it looks like. Periods of rainfall, some of it heavy, most of it in Hardee and DeSoto County at this hour. But there's some showers out here in Gulf waters that are going to be lifting northward. So Longboat Key, you're going to see some showers in about 10-15 minutes, but some heavier stuff possible as you head into the next half hour to 45 minutes coming up from the south. Also, some heavier rain falling now in Punta Gorda. That'll be lifting north again. So in Arcadia, where you're seeing heavier showers right now, that will let up for a second, and you'll see another round of heavier showers coming at you. So State Road 72, that could have some serious ponding on the roadways. Watch out for hydroplaning. It'll drain off pretty quickly because these are fast-moving showers, and they're not going to drop a lot of total rain, but they will drop some pretty intense torrential rains for a very brief period of time as they lift northward. So that could lead to the ponding. That'll drain off with time. We're looking at a plume of moisture lifting northward across the region, and that's why we're going with pretty good rain chances today. Coastal regions of Bradenton seeing some showers here and there, kind of dotting the landscape. But again, the heaviest of the stuff with thunder and lightning moving into Arcadia. This stuff is really going to produce some very heavy rainfall along 17, along 70, 72. All seeing some fairly heavy showers over the next half hour or so. The plume really exists all the way down to Cuba, where they have seen 18-inch rainfalls in Cuba. all associated with that tropical moisture lifting northward thanks to that southerly wind flow aloft. East wind at the surface coming in at about 9. Winds a little lighter today than they have been over the last several days, but still not a particularly good day of boating because, as you well know, boaters, the seas can be much, much higher in the vicinity of thunderstorms. 9 a.m., 50% chance of showers, so good chances then with a temperature of 77, 81 by around lunchtime with a good 50% chance of showers then as well. Then as we head into the afternoon with a little daytime heating, we'll look for a chance of thunderstorms once again this afternoon at about 70%, leading into the evening drive time home when, guess what? It could be wet again with about a 60% chance of showers on the way home. So we still have Alberta. We're still talking about Alberta. Alberta now just a low pressure area. The Hurricane Center has stopped giving any kind of updates on this storm and handed off the responsibility to those agencies which keep track of flood potential. And of course, with the western parts of Kentucky seeing some heavy rainfall today, could get as much as 5-inch rainfalls in spots, but 2 to 4 inches certainly widespread, and that could lead to some isolated flooding there and some flash flooding. The moisture plume across our region continues, so we'll have mostly cloudy skies today, it looks like. That moisture plume lasting for a couple of days, then some drier air indicated by tan here back to the east of us will gradually work its way westward as high pressure builds in. Our winds start to shift as well, and that will tend to, over the weekend, force the shower activity to be along the other coast. Humid with storms, a drier weekend as those showers are pushed to the east coast, and that will be the case probably through the beginning of next week. So the forecast looks like this. Wet today, obviously. Not a great day for boating, even if the winds do subside southeast to about 10 this evening. Moderate chop is what we're looking at here, but there'll be showers around him. Thunderstorms as well. Can't rule that out, certainly. 70% chance of rain today. Good chances again tomorrow, I think. In the same sort of situation, morning showers are possible, followed by some afternoon thunderstorms as well. And then Friday, the rain chances start to go down a little bit, and Saturday and Sunday, the drier air works in, and we're left with some pretty warm weekend temperatures, but lots of sunshine. The beaches will be busy this weekend, no doubt. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look outside. Some slicker roads out there, so we're starting to see some delays as we normally do around this time of the morning. Some delays on 301 heading northbound and southbound in both directions on a couple spots right there in Manatee County. Then in Sarasota, those roads aren't looking too bad either. We do have a couple delays that we normally see around this time of the morning. Fruitville Road, there's some delays going right in there as it meets 301. Bee Ridge, we're starting to see some delays there as well. Then a little bit farther south in the area, if you're headed south on 75 or south on 41, 75 looks okay, but there are a couple hot spots right there on 41, but nothing to be worried about this morning. 617, that is your first alert traffic. Well, it was the tweet seen around the world, and it brought the Roseanne Show reboot to an end. ABC canceled the show immediately yesterday. Barr is now blaming the tweet on Ambien. You can't even make this stuff up. ABC Stephanie Ramos has the fallout.
The revival of the hit show Roseanne was canceled just hours after the show's star Roseanne Barr tweeted this: Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes had a baby equals VJ. The VJ she's referring to is Valerie Jarrett, a former advisor to President Obama. By Tuesday morning, Barr's tweet had been deleted and replaced with an apology saying in part, "Forgive me, my joke was in bad taste." Roseanne's tweet outraged fans, but also her own castmates. Sarah Gilbert, also an executive producer of the show, calling the comments abhorrent and do not reflect the beliefs of our cast and crew or anyone associated with our show. Meanwhile, the subject of the tweet, Valerie Jarrett, responded on MSNBC.
I think we have to turn it into a teaching moment.
And she believes ABC did the right thing by canceling the show.
Bob Iger, who's the CEO of Disney, called me before the announcement. He apologized. He said that he had zero tolerance for that sort of racist, bigoted comment, and he wanted me to know before he made it public that he was canceling his show. And so I appreciate that they did that so swiftly.
Barr was back on Twitter late Tuesday with another apology, posting, "Don't feel sorry for me, guys. I just want to apologize to the hundreds of people and wonderful writers, all liberal and talented actors who lost their jobs on my show due to my stupid tweet." Streaming service Hulu and other cable networks have removed Roseanne reruns, and Barr was also dropped from her talent agency. Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, Washington.
Oh, this was a big one, and ABC had really put a lot of faith in this one as well. It was kind of the look how successful a reboot can be, and it was going to pave the way for some other reboots.
It was doing really well, wasn't it?
And it did very well in the ratings,
Boy,
yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
After an alleged affair and the following scandal, the governor of Missouri has resigned. We're going to tell you what finally made him call it quits. Plus, Marla?
I'm live at City Hall in Sarasota, where local activists will be here to file complaints against Sarasota's police department. They say officers mishandled 2 arrests in Newtown. I'll have a live report on this story coming up at 6:30.
There's a good chance of rain today. You'll see some raindrops right now outside your window. High of 83 degrees. It is 6:20 Wednesday morning. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Outback is an IIHS top safety pick for 10 years running. Lease a new Subaru Outback today for just $249 a month. Or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Thank you.
What are you doing? You are the best protection she has. Buddy up. I'm Jill Harrington. Please visit helpsavethenextgirl.com and get involved.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more.
Missouri Governor Eric Greitens has stepped down after a 5-month saga. This one began with some disturbing allegations that involved an ex-mistress.
Amazing story here. ABC's Alex Perez has details.
In this morning's GMA First Look, Missouri Governor Eric Greitens buckling under pressure.
I am announcing that I will resign.
Unable to survive the bipartisan criticism that began swirling after he was charged with felony invasion of privacy. Those charges stemming from an affair before he was governor. The woman accused him of taking a partially nude photo of her and threatening to distribute it if she told anyone of their sexual encounters. Greitens admitted to the affair but denied any wrongdoing.
This ordeal has been designed to cause an incredible amount of strain on my family.
Investigators never found the alleged picture, and those charges were dismissed. In a separate case where he was accused of illegally obtaining a charity's donor list to fundraise, the prosecutor saying in a statement she has reached a resolution. We'll have the latest on his resignation coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Alex Perez, ABC News, Jefferson City, Missouri.
Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. Je me fous du passé.
You've tried moisturizer after moisturizer, but one blows them all out of the water. Hydro Boost from Neutrogena, with hyaluronic acid to plump skin cells so it bounces back. Neutrogena.
Delivery should look like this. Handcrafted layers of clean food you can give your kids. Tomatoes. Even the picky ones. Panera. Food as it should be. Now delivered.
From your home to your whole community, ask Sherwin-Williams during our National Painting Week sale. From May 25th through June 4th, get 30% off paints and stains. Visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store today.
Hi, I'm Chef Alan Bristow, Chef Bob Batella. We're from Publix Aprons Cooking School. Bob, what you got for us today, buddy?
We are going to do a pasta dish with chicken, lime, and cilantro.
Very nice.
Cilantro. We love cilantro. If you like cilantro, this is a cool
Great
dish.
dish.
What we have here is chicken that I kind of sliced up and sauteed ahead of time. And then we're going to throw it back in the pot. This is what you should do at home. You don't want raw chicken in there. Nice hot pot this time. We have that nice sizzle going on there. Now, saute that chicken just for a minute or two, just to get it warm. And then we're going to add a little bit of this roasted garlic.
Great stuff.
You know, just a little bit of that right into there. Then what we're going to do is just let that warm up a little bit. This is going to have peas in it, not frozen peas, everybody. The nice fresh peas that you get from our produce department, a little bit of peas in there. So just cook it a little bit. Once again, do not cook the peas ahead of time. Just put them in raw, just let them go. So you saute that a little bit, and then you take a little diced red pepper and you put that in there. Now what we're showing you here is pasta dishes. If you have everything ready at home, they don't take long to cook. You can have all this stuff ready and just go for it. Now we're going to add a little bit of white wine, which I don't have here, but we'll make believe we're adding white wine. I'm good at that, aren't I? A little white wine, and then some lime zest. Very important, everybody. Lime zest. What do we always say? The most important thing about limes before you zest them, take the sticker off. The most important thing. And then a little bit of lime juice, fresh lime juice, fresh lime zest, make-believe wine that we have in there, all right? And then we're gonna add a little bit of cilantro to this. And then what you do is you take this Alfredo sauce, or you can make some yourself, just kind of mix that around in there with it, and you're good to go.
Great. Beautiful, Bob. Thank you. Starting tomorrow, be sure to stop by your Aprons Simple Meals kiosk from Publix and pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients after sampling this delicious meal. Looks good, Bob. Thank you.
Very cool.
So I kind of grew up all across the country. I come from 5 generations of military men. My dad is still active duty. My grandpa is retired Marines. I like going for runs with my dog. I love, taking her out to the dog beach over in Venice. There are so many things here to do on the Suncoast. My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service, it's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
About every 3 minutes in America, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer. Light the Night brings together survivors and supporters to bring light to the darkness of cancer and to help fund life-saving research. Our goal is a world without blood cancers, and we're lighting the path to cures. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. Help defeat the darkness of cancer. Join Light the Night today.
Thanks to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, what was once impossible is happening today for thousands of patients with blood cancer.
I live.
I live. I live. I live. I live. She lives.
Because of the research done by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society in the battle against blood cancer.
If you had a chance to support the research that is saving lives, what would you do?
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
Download the all-new ABC 7 First Alert weather app now. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6:30.
Northport Police Department, they're getting closer to finding their new chief. Find out who is in the running. Plus,
some business owners are getting a sinking feeling in Bradenton. We'll tell you about a sinkhole that has that area on edge.
and later today, a call for justice after a shooting that involved an officer tasing a Newtown man. Our Marla Spence is going to be joining us live from City Hall. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. Good morning to you. It is 6:31 on this Wednesday morning. I'm Stephanie Webb.
I'm Ray Collins. Each hour I see more and more rain appearing on John Scalzi's maps behind him.
Yeah, as we've been talking about, rain shield expanding, some of the storms producing some torrential rain. The good news is they're fast-moving storms, so 30, 35-mile-an-hour moving storms. They'll produce some gusty winds. They'll produce some torrential downpours of rain. They could lead some ponding on some of your roadways. But the total rainfall amounts really not great enough to aggravate any kind of long-term flooding situations that we have been talking about this week. So that's the good news. The bad news is I think we'll have these rain showers around all commute morning long. So, you know, just allow yourself a little extra time, a little pedal off the metal. We're looking at some heavy rainfall in Hardy, DeSoto, inland parts of Charlotte County right now. We're talking about those rain showers continuing to lift north, and they have some pops of lightning as well, a couple of them. So remember your lightning safety rules. Across the coastline areas from Holmes Beach up through Anna Maria, seeing some heavy rainfall at times, some gusty winds as well. Watch for that. Just offshore of Venice, there's some pretty good thunderstorm activity. That may be heading up toward areas of central Longboat Key over the course of the next half hour and then spreading northward across areas of Anna Maria later on. As I mentioned, that one cell just off the coast of Upper Longboat Key and areas of Manatee County could produce some very heavy rainfall. We'll talk about the forecast, including the potential of some weekend sunshine in just a few.
Okay, that'd be nice to see. Thank you, John. Now we're seeing the shot of Bee Ridge Road and Tuttle Avenue. There's the intersection right there, a busy spot during the commute. Some damp roads out there, no raindrops, doesn't appear right now. We'll check back there in about 15 minutes. At first, let's go to the maps and see Manatee County. Some buildup there already from Palmetto to downtown Bradenton. Also 301 southbound, just south of State Road 70. Looking farther south now at the northern half of Sarasota County, you'll notice Fruitville in the westbound lane toward 301, also 301 northbound as you head toward University, and then also down there by Clark and 41. And then our final map to the south will indicate just some minor delays right down there by the Sarasota and Charlotte County line.
Almost 24 suspected sexual predators are off the streets this morning thanks to the Sarasota Sheriff's Department. 21 suspects ranging in age from 22 to 58 were all arrested, the result of Operation Intercept 5, the 5th undercover sting operation designed to catch sexual predators online. According to the sheriff, all of the men busted in this latest sting responded to ads online and then engaged in sexually graphic communication. Sheriff Knight says the arrests even included a 24-year-old who worked at Disney World. Knight calls the behavior sickening, says the sheriff's office will continue efforts like this to keep predators off the streets.
Depending on their criminal records and things, we've seen them get at minimum 5 up to 15 years in prison for doing this. So this is certainly a deterrent by arresting them, and the message to them is that in most regards, you're looking at 5 years up to 15 years.
Now, the sheriff's office also says that there are 9 very important apps that as parents you should know about. Things like Snapchat, Bumble, LiveMe, and others, where kids can really be vulnerable to online predators.
The search for a new police chief in Northport is now down to 4 candidates, and they are from Tampa, Fort Myers, Los Angeles, and Florida's East Coast. The finalists include Ralph Anthony, who was the deputy police chief at Tampa International Airport, Todd Garrison, a commander in Lee County, Paul Grohowski, who was recently the chief of police for a community college in Southern California, and Frank Kitzero, the police chief right now in Jupiter, Florida. There will be a meet and greet with the finalists on June 6th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Northport City Hall. The previous chief, Kevin Vespier, retired back in March.
We have new details this morning of a drive-by shooting in North Sarasota. Now, when Sarasota County Sheriff's deputies arrived on the scene, they were responding to 2 crime scenes side by side of each other near Leonard Reed Avenue and 32nd Street around 5 o'clock yesterday.
As you can see behind me, we are working 2 different crime scenes, and we are looking for shell casings and things like that on the ground. So there are technically 2 crime scenes here. One individual was injured during this incident. It's a female. She's been transported to Sarasota Memorial Hospital with what we are told are non-life-threatening injuries at this time.
We spoke to a witness who says he heard 20 to 30 shots go off. The investigation is ongoing, and we will continue to update you as we have more information here on ABC7.
Update now on a story we broke yesterday involving police looking for a person behind another Newtown shooting. It happened around Orange and 20th. Police say after an argument, a man shot at the victim's car several times. Nobody was injured. Police say they do have a suspect in mind, but he has not yet been arrested.
Well, it is a call for justice by some members of Black Lives Matter after an incident that involved a Sarasota police officer tasing a Newtown man a few months ago.
Marla Spence has a preview of today's event at Sarasota City Hall. Marla?
Good morning, guys. Folks with Black Lives Matter Minnesota, the Rodney Mitchell Foundation, and also Answer Suncoast Coalition will be right here at City Hall in Sarasota. They say they'll be here to complain about Sarasota's police department and also complain about officers who responded to 2 incidents in Newtown a few months ago. Now, they're also asking for charges to be dropped against 2 men who were taken into custody back in March and in April. They say they want justice for Chad Washington, who was tased by Sarasota police. Police say Washington was under the influence of the hallucinogenic drug spice and say he was punching and biting officers. Now, spectators that day claim officers started the violence and say Washington was not resisting. The group who is filing complaints today say they not only want justice for Washington, but also Jeremy Trebles. He was parked in a car in Janie's Gardens apartments in April, and officers were patrolling that area of Janie's Gardens and say the car seemed suspicious. That's when Sarasota police officer Brandon Vermillion walked over to the driver's side of the car, and that's when shots were fired into the car by Officer Vermillion. Now, not only is the group asking for charges to be dropped for those 2 men, but they're also asking for the firing of Officer Vermillion and also the prosecution of him coming up at 5:30 this evening. That's when all those folks will be out here filing complaints against those officers. Reporting live in Sarasota, I'm Marla Spence for ABC7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you so much, Marla. Well, a sinkhole in one Bradenton shopping center only getting bigger. Now, this is the one right here that has businesses and consumers worried at the Cortez Plaza East Shopping Center. And not too far appears to be a second one also in the making. Some business owners say as it continues to grow, nothing is being done about it.
The landlord, often he don't want to talk to us. We contacted them many times, and then Nobody can give you an answer to anything. And they say, yeah, we're going to fix it soon, we'll fix it soon, but then for 2 years, nothing has happened.
I'm a concerned citizen. I appreciate if something get done because I don't want nobody car getting stuck or the storm come and throw stuff around and it all over the place and then somebody get seriously injured. It's just not safe.
All right, so who's going to fix this thing? Well, Manatee County says that they may be stepping in to fix the problem and then bill the owner of the shopping plaza. Now, the Public Works Department is preparing to present one option to the Manatee County Commissioners at their June meeting. Now, the owner of that shopping plaza couldn't be reached for comment. Well, the first storm of the season has already left its mark. Subtropical storm Alberto made impact on sea turtle nesting season here on the Suncoast. Now, those who monitor these nests are trying to figure out just how many of them have been affected by those high tides and surf from that storm over the weekend. Anna Maria Island Turtle Watch and Moat Marine Lab officials say that the stakes around some of these nests were washed away by the storm, but that the eggs were still there right under the sand.
We were called back out and they said, we found a nest, it's not marked. There, lo and behold, there were the eggs.
Now, some of those nests, unfortunately, have been washed out completely, bringing the turtles' eggs right above the sand surface. Luckily, though, they have a lot of those Turtle Watch volunteers. They quickly bury them back in the sand. Still to come on Good Morning Suncoast.
Actor Morgan Freeman demands an apology. We'll take a look at the 10-page letter from his attorney when we come back. But first, here's a peek outside our window at the day developing right down there of the downtown Sarasota skyline. Let's get a preview of the forecast from John Scalzi.
Yeah, we're looking at some heavy rainfall across the Suncoast. The good news is these are fast-moving showers, so the total amount of rainfall will probably not be all that great, but as they move over you, they are going to produce some torrential rains that could lead to some temporary ponding of water on roadways. Watch for that. Arcadia is seeing some heavy thunderstorm activity too, most of it in rural areas, but interestingly enough, you can see this one lightning pop in kind of a clear location, so an indication that even though it's not raining on you, you could still get hit by lightning. Lightning occurs as much as 10 miles away from the parent cell. So watch for that this morning. There are thunderstorms around right now. Holmes Beach, Bradenton Beach, on up through Anna Maria, seeing some fairly heavy rainfall with this cell, as well as some gusty winds. Both hands on the wheel as you head out to work this morning because of the slippery roadways. We'll have more on the details of the forecast coming up in just a second.
Since 2004, Embracing Our Differences has used the power of art and education to promote diversity. One way it accomplishes this is through its annual outdoor exhibition of 45 billboard-sized works of art, each accompanied by an inspirational quote. Join us in creating a community that is inclusive for all, where differences are embraced and individuality is celebrated. We invite you to celebrate the voices and visions of diversity and inclusion at this year's exhibit at Sarasota's Island Park.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
Get to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Sarasota for big savings on new Ram trucks. The Ram 1500 has been named a Consumer Guide Best Buy for 6 years in a row. And right now, get the all-new redesigned 2018 Ram Quad Cab for as little as $23,999. Or save big and get up to $12,400 off a new Ram Bighorn Crew Cab. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Sarasota.
My credit score was not that great. I didn't understand what went into my credit score.
It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach.
Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think, I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free. You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Heavy rain and flooding is expected to impact parts of the Suncoast.
It will probably be forecasting hour by hour. We will see that plume of deep tropical moisture, and we continue to monitor that area of disturbed weather to the south.
Weekdays starting at 5 a.m. Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Well, in inland areas, it's been coming down in just buckets. We have an upper level disturbance. We have a lot of tropical moisture lifting northward. The combination of those factors bringing this heavy rainfall that you see now occurring, especially near Arcadia and Wauchula. You've gotten some very heavy rainfall. All of you have seen some very heavy rainfall this morning, and that continues to rapidly move north. These are fast moving showers, 20, 25, 35 mile per hour forward motion. So they'll produce some gusty winds, but the total rainfall amounts not all that great. However, as they do move past, they can produce downpours of torrential rain as they quickly pass by. So you could get some temporary ponding on the roadways, but because the rainfall totals are not that great, it should drain off pretty quickly. So we'll watch these showers throughout the morning. There's another line of showers coming up through Punta Gorda, heading up toward Arcadia as well. Watch for that this morning, especially along your commutes into the city. Those roadways are going to be wet, especially to the bend in 75, seeing some fairly heavy rainfall. Along the coastline, we have some periods of rain as well. Not quite as heavy as inland stuff, but still has the potential to produce some brief periods of heavier showers. Some bigger storms out in the Gulf waters should not be a big issue. Anna Maria, you're seeing that heavy rainfall in the process of departing right now. You had some over Holmes Beach and Upper Longboat Key over the last half hour, so there were going to be some slippery roadways there. And then in inland areas, as I mentioned, mostly to the east of Arcadia, we're seeing some heavy rain falling here. I mean, this is really heavy stuff coming down around 670 and 17 and 70, all seeing some very, very heavy rainfall. All of that rapidly lifting northward will be with us throughout the day today. This cluster of storms that you see out in the Gulf, this is probably the heaviest stuff that we have on radar right now with some gusty winds and frequent lightning. That should stay offshore, so not as worried about that. But the stuff that comes at us from the south, lifting northward, will be in the forecast throughout the morning hours. So our rain chance today is excellent. 74 degrees, our current air temperature, humidity rather, coming in at 97%. We have winds out of the east at 9 and a fair amount of cloud cover across the region. 9 a.m. temperatures coming in at 50% chance of rainfall with a temperature of 77. Sun cloud mix throughout the day today with thunderstorms likely as we head into the afternoon. 70% chance of rain by 3 p.m. And then for your drive home this evening, yeah, we still have rain chances in the forecast at 70% through 7 o'clock tonight. We still, of course, have Alberto producing some fairly heavy rain in western parts of Kentucky that could see a 4-inch rainfall there. The plume that lifts northward still produces cloud cover for us, and we'll have a mostly cloudy day. This turquoise color that you see, that's moisture. That's tropical moisture, and it is around. Now, back to the east, we do have some drier air indicated by tan. That drier air in the mid and upper levels headed our way, and as high pressure builds in and our winds begin to shift to a more southwesterly direction, showers will be driven more to the east coast as we head into the weekend. That drier air will ride into our area on the underbelly of that high pressure ridge, and that will bring us a drier weekend, sunnier weekend, and a much warmer weekend at that. So, humid with storms today, probably tomorrow as well. Drier this weekend, and then the east coast of the state of Florida will be getting the afternoon and evening rain showers over the weekend. For boating today, the winds will subside a little bit, but you know, boaters, that in the vicinity of thunderstorms, those seas can get high fast. And so perhaps not a great day for boating. Southeast wind at about 10 knots this evening. The wind's not too bad, but the thunderstorm chances are not good, 70%. Tomorrow about 50%, then we'll start to trend down the rain chances as some of that drier air moves in. Lots of sunshine this weekend, warmer temperatures, and very little rain chance, really straight into the beginning of next work week. Back to you.
Thank you, John. A reminder, this Friday, our First Alert weather team will explain everything you need to know ahead of hurricane season, including evacuation routes, flood zones, what shelters are pet-friendly, and new transportation options. Experts will be in the studio to answer your questions live on the air. Friday, 7 p.m., everything you need to know to survive a hurricane on ABC 7.
All right, let's take a look at first alert traffic out there. Got some rain on those roads, so we've got a couple slick spots to tell you about as well. Some slowdowns on 301, right around State Road 70. We've got some slowdowns right at that intersection, like we normally do. 301 has a lot of delays today, going both north and south. So if that is part of your normal commute, you want to give yourself a couple extra minutes this morning. Heading into Sarasota County, excuse me, those roads aren't too bad out there. We do have a slowdown right there on Fruitville as well as Bee Ridge, but those are pretty normal for just our morning traffic commute. A little bit farther south in the area, if you're going towards Port Charlotte or Punta Gorda, 75 and 41 are actually running pretty smooth southbound, so that should be pretty easy for you. It is 6:49, and that is your first alert traffic. Well, actor Morgan Freeman fighting back today against allegations of sexual harassment and inappropriate behavior. In a 10-page letter from his attorney, the 80-year-old Oscar winner has demanded an immediate retraction and an apology from CNN following their report last week in which multiple women accused Freeman of sexual harassment and inappropriate behavior during press interviews and on sets. CNN says they stand by their reporting.
6:50 right now, your day's top news headlines and our top 7 before 7 up next.
And that, of course, includes a final look at your first alert weather and traffic. Plus, in what's trending, big cast shakeup at AMC's mega hit, The Walking Dead. We've got it all for you straight ahead. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast right here on ABC 7.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
WWSB ABC 7 is an equal opportunity employer, and we're looking for qualified people to join our dynamic team. For a list of current openings and to apply online, visit www.mysuncoast.com/contact/employment. If you're a motivated team player and you want a rewarding career in a fun, fast-paced working environment, WWSB ABC 7 could be the perfect fit for you. Check out our list of openings now.
A decade of war has taken an unprecedented toll on our men and women in uniform.
Hundreds of thousands of our veterans are suffering from the trauma of war.
At Justice for Vets, we believe that every veteran should have the opportunity for treatment and restoration.
Get involved and go to justiceforvets.org.
Help put treatment within reach of veterans in crisis.
Veterans fought for our freedom. Now it's our turn to fight for theirs.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here.
Why, you don't like my hair?
The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds.
No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm going to show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch the Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
Looking for something fun to do on a Friday night? Then come to Music on Main, the first Friday of every month at Lakewood Ranch. Enjoy free live music, dancing, great food, and lots of fun for every family member, even the furry ones. Meet up with friends, enjoy activities for the kids, or make it a special date night. And be sure to stop by the ABC 7 booth and say hello. Mark your calendars for Music on Main, first Friday of the month, 6 to 9 at Lakewood Ranch. Brought to you by ABC 7 and these sponsors.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC 7 shows on your streaming device.
Welcome back. It is 6:53, and here's your top 7 before 7.
First off, John Scalzi's rain report for the morning. John.
Wet this morning. Radar lighting up, especially east of the interstate in Hardee and DeSoto counties. Heavy rains continue to fall there. We have good chances of seeing showers throughout the morning commute. Grab an umbrella and your First Alert weather app so you can trace these storms on radar. And don't forget, afternoon thunderstorms as well. We are on social media with updates on our Facebook app, on our Facebook page, and on our social media outlets. Plus, don't forget our First Alert weather app. Back to you.
All right, number 2, checking the roads. Damp out there, some raindrops in certain areas, as John just said. No major slowdowns so far this morning. We'll update the traffic in about 25 minutes.
And number 3, local activists from Black Lives Matter will be at City Hall later today to lodge a complaint over a Sarasota police officer who tased a Newtown man a few months ago.
Our 4th headline now. New numbers have been released in the amount of people who died after Hurricane Maria swept through Puerto Rico last September. Originally, they thought it was 64. A new Harvard study says actually it's closer to 4,000. The study says many died from delayed medical care.
Number 5, the Northport Police Department has narrowed down its search for a new police chief to 4. There's going to be a meet and greet if you would like to meet them with the finalists on June the 11th at Northport City Hall.
The end of the road for the Roseanne reboot after a racist tweet yesterday from the show's star, Roseanne Barr. ABC took action and pulled the show off the air again.
And number 7, no, Rick, no, don't go. The heart and soul of AMC's mega hit, The Walking Dead, is leaving the show. According to Entertainment Weekly, Andrew Lincoln, who has played leading man Rick Grimes right from the start, he's leaving next season, which is going to be the 9th one. And when that show returns in October, he's only going to be in the first 6 episodes. Now, as somebody that's watched Walking Dead for many years, even if you haven't watched it, you can relate. If you've ever had a favorite TV show where they kill off the main characters, and what's happened is that they've killed off so many of them on Walking Dead, it's hit the ratings.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Work that way.
Sometimes it's good to take out big ones, sometimes not so much. Don't do it, Walking Dead.
I'd like to take out the big thunderstorms that are around
Let's
us.
do that.
That would be nice. They are producing some fairly heavy rainfall in places. Watch for slippery roadways. Showers moving into Longboat Key, Anna Maria Island, and Holmes Beach in the next half hour.
Stay dry, folks. Thanks for watching Good Morning Suncoast.
Good Morning America is up next right here on ABC 7.